fictional horror and may contain numerous horror elements, such as mentions of significant bodily harm, death, gore, otherworldly beings and powers, instances of fantasy magic and discrimination, and sudden loud noises. Viewer discretion is advised.
Is everyone ready? It's my turn today, and I'm gonna make this count.
Yep, all of the lights are green. Questions are in. And the ECF shield thing is up.
RDF is operational. Coordinates are set. I'm ready to go when you are.
Perfect. Then we're ready to begin. All right, we're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, and welcome back to the XK. Those of you lucky enough to still be alive out there. And welcome to day 2 of our exploration on GOIs. For those of you somehow tuning in for the first time, my name is Dr. Robin, and I'll be your guide to keep you alive in this hellscape. Last week, we spent our energy discussing the individual, the organization, the loose group. We discussed nobody, but not nobody at all. An organization, let's call it that, called Nobody. There's something that's barely known and barely understood, and an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. They've been involved in numerous containment breaches, operations, failures, and exterminations. And while at the end of the episode, we felt they didn't have the ability or desire to end the world, their study has proved useful. So today, we're going to be keeping with the theme and discussing another admittedly poorly understood group, the Serpent's Hand, a magic-wielding, skip-loving, book-worshipping organization that has been the target of more intrigue and excitement than nearly any other. As before, Tess will be here to answer your questions, and Sarah will be going on the ground to keep you informed of all things magical. I, on the other hand, will be here to tell you all about this mysterious foe. So, let's begin with a simple question. Who are the Serpent's Hand? Well, from our own documents that Tess really shouldn't have access to, the Serpent's Hand is a small but formidable organization responsible for several security breaches. At least 3 different individuals have been encountered, all of whom used possible or confirmed anomalous items for infiltration purposes. This included SCP-268, which was stolen from the Foundation, who in turn had recovered it during a raid of a Chaos Insurgency facility. The total number of members belonging to this organization is admittedly unknown, as is their level of technology, numbers of SCPs held, or total level of threat. However, it is clear that they are highly coordinated and quite possibly dangerous. One of their leaders is thought to be a figure known as LS, who is considered to be possibly responsible for 2 security breaches in Foundation sites. The group seems to embrace the use and existence of paranormal items, and in particular seems to embrace humanoid and sentient SCPs. The Serpent's Hand has been highly vocal in criticizing the containment and destruction of these SCPs, especially those which are fully human and are not particularly destructive. The group seems to have unfriendly relations with the Chaos Insurgency, and an extremely hostile relationship with the GOC. The only recorded case of unprovoked violence by the Serpent's Hand members have actually been against GOC agents specifically. The Serpent's Hand seems primarily based in an anomalous location called the Wanderer's Library, a building accessed through portals found in many different parts of the world. Direct assaults on the library have so far proven unfeasible, even when entrance could be found. However, initial intelligence seems to suggest that the Hand has little understanding or control over the place. Anyways, that's enough for my boring theory building. Hey, Tess, we're gonna need a few extra minutes to finish preparations. Sarah's come down with a case of corn fever, hell knows where she got that, and she's a little bit out of it.
I'm fine, don't worry.
Sarah, it seems like you're coming down with every single disease that we can imagine. Just stop, okay? Just take a second. You're still good enough to be out there, but we can hear that you're feeling sick.
Well, I could take the Class C antimemetics. They should get rid of this sick haze, and may even fix my memory in the process.
Jesus Christ, no, those are off limits, okay? Tess, you're gonna have a few extra minutes today, okay?
Yeah, sure. Extra time. Sounds good. Let's get these questions. I'm sorry. You were nowhere in the middle of somewhere in nowhere, Oklahoma, with nobody and nowhere, with a population of like 3. What the fuck? And in all of this, you were searching for nobody and nowhere. No. That was Sarah, actually. That wasn't me. And, like, did you listen to this segment? Like, I feel like if you listened, you wouldn't need me to explain, so let me just explain. We were looking for nobody, which is the name of a mysterious and difficult to identify GOI that has been involved in the containment breaches and other events in Nowhere, which is an unincorporated town in Oklahoma. The Nowhere in Oklahoma has a population of like 3. I guess, like, it's, you know, nobody, like, that Greek play you probably read in high school, or, you know, a really cool musical called Epic. Next question. You guys keep saying these skip things are dangerous. It's SCP, not skip, my opinion. But this orange blob keeps running around my town hugging people. They seem to be cured of cuts, scrapes, and bruises whenever he leaves. What gives? Okay. In fairness, that sounds like you guys have SCP-999 there. And it's probably the best SCP out there. Like, most of them are dangerous, but this one is actually really friendly. It is known to heal people, and it likes to hug people and tickle them, and it's adorable. And it also smells really good. Like chocolate and fresh laundry and bacon and roses and Play-Doh. Like, it's never a good idea to think that an SCP is safe, but I'm pretty sure this is as close as you can get to a safe SCP. So just enjoy the little guy. Next one. Aren't you tired of being treated like a second-rate Foundation personnel? Like a D-class citizen? Did you know there are other options out there? Check out 97.9 FM. Other options. You do realize this is literally the apocalypse? Like, what do you mean? Other options.
Hey, Tess, we're almost set up, so we're gonna have to take that extra time back.
Dr. Robin, the transporter is spinning its coordinates. What do I do?
Shit. Never mind, keep going.
You know what? Sure, fuck it. No harm in checking this out.
Welcome. To anyone willing or able to read this, this is for you. We are the Serpent's Hand. We are a movement unified by a common belief that humanity and all the other peoples of the known worlds do not deserve to be kept in darkness and ignorance. The Serpent's Hand doesn't coordinate as a group. We are a loose collection of splinters. Our enemies tend to misunderstand this. For instance, the Foundation's obsession with LS, a person most of us have never met. Or the Serpent's Nest, with their shifting identities. Yes, they are all leaders, because they are people we respect, people we take advice from, and some of us will follow their plans. But they aren't all of us. There's no special way to join the Hand. There are no secret rituals done in basements or closets. We hold no elections for our leaders. If you want to become a member of the Serpent's Hand, All you have to do is decide you are a member of the Serpent's Hand. Most of us are ordinary people, though our enemies do not understand this. We are ordinary people who embrace the anomalous, the supernatural, the ethereal. We oppose its suppression. How can we not? Our friends, family members, and sometimes we ourselves fall outside of the bounds of normalcy. Every single one of us has experienced the anomalous. But anomalous people are people. And the anomalous itself is not a threat merely for existing. Yes, it presents danger, but so do germs and meteors and forest fires. Suppressing knowledge of something will only make it more dangerous and keep all of us huddling, frightened in the dark. When normalcy starts hurting the people who have to live under it to try to cure a poison, normalcy is itself the poison. The SCP Foundation and the Global Occult Coalition are playing the role now that the Catholic Church played when they imprisoned Galileo for discovering that the world revolved around the sun. Their practices and beliefs are the death of knowledge, the death of science, the death of light. Everyone reasonable agrees that people should defend themselves against supernatural threats. But how can you protect yourself if you burn and bury the books and imprison or execute the people who could tell you how? Would you try to protect yourself against nuclear weapons by telling everyone to pretend they don't exist? To any members of the GOC and the Foundation who may read this, we are growing so large because of you. We were more like you once, just one more inbred secret society hoarding occult knowledge to ourselves. Then the Foundation began increasing its scale. There have always been jailers, but not like this, not in millennia. Yet still, they kept themselves in the dark, with only their leaders ever knowing the full extent of the world on Earth outside the everyday. So they were tolerable for a time. But then came the Seventh Occult War, the Foundation's Civil War, the rise of the Global Occult Coalition, the Book Burners, the Big Brother, and the grand-scale campaign against the paranatural community that followed. The Coalition became the oppressive shelter to which the cowards of the paranatural community fled. A shame that there were only 108 slots, and only for human-dominated organizations. Or perhaps not a shame at all. Our old selves did not seek membership then, and we are fortunate for that. So the Serpent's Hand rose up, not out of desire nor fear, but out of a clear and pressing need to keep all people from being chained forever in the dark. We, the Serpent's Hand, ask both of you this. How many KTEs does the Global Occult Coalition catalog? It must seem like the supernatural is a vast hydra, 2 new heads sprouting for each that is cut off. How long will you keep cutting? How many SCP items does the Foundation contain now? 2,000? 3,000? 5? More? How long before there is no more room for prisons to be constructed? Will you put the whole world in a containment cell? You admit it to yourselves privately. The anomalous is on the rise. You cannot hold back the future forever. You are the monsters you are so afraid of. Let go of your fear and join us in the light. And if you will not, if you keep imprisoning and killing innocents, if you keep forcing the world to stay in the dark, then you will meet the fate of all the slavers and murderers in the world's history before you. We will free those you keep imprisoned. We will rescue those you tried to kill. The garden is the Serpent's place. We are the Serpent's Hand.
I won't say it's not interesting, but I'll be completely honest. Finally got access to the infinite tea cabinet here, so probably gonna have to stick around. Robin, you are up.
All right. Shit. Sarah, do you think you can handle the rest?
I think I've got it. Go do your thing.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Let's begin. Today, My goal is to give you a solid foundation on who the Serpent's Hand actually is. This is admittedly quite difficult, as the Foundation didn't really know that much about them, but there's a few key files that you might find informative. Let us start with SCP-268, one of the first times the Foundation ever encountered the Hand. It was originally acquired from the Chaos Insurgency before the Hand had taken it from us, and it itself has had an extensive history since then. So, let's begin. Item number, SCP-268. Object class, Euclid. Special containment procedures. The following procedures have all been crossed out, but for the purpose of learning, I will read them anyways. SCP-268 is currently to be maintained within, as it has been deemed that the chance of use for facilitation of escape by restricted personnel or humanoid SCP is too great. However, the possibility of use by field agents after further testing is under review. The part that's not crossed out is See Addendum 268-05. Description: SCP-268 is a tweed wool newsboy cap. The design and make seem to be of Irish origin. Due to the style of the fabric, it is estimated to have been created in the late 1800s to early 1900s, though fiber analysis is inconclusive. The only markings on the cap are a small label with writing in Middle Irish, reading, "The garden is the Serpent's place." However, there are various indications that this label was sewn onto the cap in recent times. Due to the nature of this artifact, testing has been extremely difficult. SCP-268 seems to be a normal hat until it is worn. Anyone wearing the hat, however, becomes suddenly and instantly unnoticeable. Subjects become unmemorable, thoroughly ignorable, or taken for granted by all observers. Observers with specific prompting are able to later recall physically seeing the subject, but can give no specific details other than seeing a man with a hat. Observers seem to have the overwhelming feeling that the wearer is someone that was supposed to be there, and thus did not merit thought or notice. During initial testing, remote analysts completely forgot what they were supposed to be observing within the chamber. It was not until the D-class subject wearing SCP-268 spoke out loud that he was noticed again. Removal of the artifact, vocalization, and physical interaction with observers seem to be the only way in which wearers of SCP-268 can make themselves noticeable. Once an observer has been made to notice an SCP-268 wearing individual, they slowly begin to ignore the subject once more, unless kept actively engaged by the wearer. Testing reveals that if a subject wears SCP-268 upwards of 20 cumulative hours, its effects seem to linger, with diminished potency, on the subject even while not wearing the artifact. Testing in this area has been cautious due to the possibility of containment breaches, but one incident, see Addendum 268-04, has shown that if the artifact is worn long enough, that the effect is rendered permanent and unbreakable. Extensive research is still unable to determine whether or not electronics are directly affected by SCP-268. Observers viewing an SCP-268 wearing subject through electronic means still have difficulty acknowledging the subject's existence, and even when noticed, observers report being unable to see the face of the individual in question. Observers note that pictures of SCP-268 wearing individuals seem to be blurry, and digital media such as surveillance cameras are reported to be grainy and unfocused. Research is unsure whether these alterations actually exist and are physical or merely perceived due to the properties of SCP-268. It should be noted that although capturing SCP-268 through visual electronic means has been difficult, motion sensing, weight sensing, heat seeking, and similar devices all trigger correctly when encountering an SCP-268 wearing subject. Addendum 268-01. SCP-268 is noted to have some similarities to SCP-180, SCP-268, however, does not seem to function on inanimate objects, and more importantly, does not directly steal the identity of its host. While SCP-180 causes its host to become unrecognizable after SCP-180 itself is removed and placed on another object, this seems to be a side effect of its function of identity theft and transfer. Meanwhile, SCP-268 could be said to steal the identity of long-term wearers as they become irrevocably forgotten. This has caused some speculation as to whether the items share similar origins, or whether the many similarities they share are merely coincidental. Addendum 268-02. At Agent request, and after approval by Dr. and Dr. Klein, SCP-268 is being used with agents in active field duty. Results thus far have been favorable. Addendum 268-03. Field testing has been suspended. Though Agent appears to have been on payroll and on records, no personnel, either on site or in higher command, remember knowing or hearing about an agent. Further tests should be conducted only on D-Class personnel, and on no single individual for longer than 10 hours. Addendum 268-04. SCP-268's effects seem to strengthen and become permanent as individual subjects wear the artifact for extended periods of cumulative time. There is a marked difference in the potency of SCP-268's effect on someone wearing it for the first time and someone who has worn the artifact upwards of 5 hours on other occasions. For example, someone who has not worn the cap before seems to dispel its effects merely by speaking. Those who have worn the artifact on several occasions for extended amounts of time seem to be able to ask observers questions and receive answers, with the observer having little to no recollection of the event. In one test, a subject who has worn the artifact for upwards of 15 hours was able to ask standing personnel the test chamber's password, nearly causing a containment breach and the escape of D-Class personnel. The security personnel in question reported being unable to recall parting with the information in question. This note was given to us by Dr. Klein. Addendum 268-05. As of SCP-268 is still missing. Its absence was discovered early in the morning by Agent and research analysts, and in its place was a note reading, "Thanks, I needed my hat back." Signed, LS. A full investigation of the security breach has been launched as of refer to. Now, you may be wondering, what does this have to do with the Serpent's hand? Well, while this doesn't mention them as directly as our usual introductory files, this item was the first known encounter with LS, and a key moment in discovering the hand. Remember, the Serpent's hand is known for using anomalous items to their advantage in anywhere they go, and this was the first item of theirs we had successfully captured. Don't worry, we're going to cover them in more detail as we go, and Sarah sure as hell is going to talk about them in her segment. So, let's go on to the next key file in our understanding. The file that we're about to air is incredibly long, longer than an entire episode of this radio show. So, in respect to the time that we're given, I am going to air just a part of it. Don't worry, I'll keep in the key moments, but forgive if it sounds a little more chopped up because of this. And so, I now present to you the Magic Orientation, pre-recorded and provided to Foundation sites by Dr. Tilda David Moose.
Hello, thank you all for coming. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Tilda David Moose. I am the director of Site 19. I'm here to, pardon my colloquial tone, I'm here to talk to you about magic. I'm not a very good speaker, just letting you know that up front. If it were up to me, someone else would be standing here. So let's start this with some questions. Just raise your hands like you're back in school. Easiest way, don't you think? Oh, that's too many hands. Alright, you in front, go ahead. No, this isn't an orientation for Mobile Task Force Sigma 3. Sigma 3 is a task force that doesn't exist. It doesn't hold orientations. I think they had one orientation ever, and that was when they were created. If you're here for Sigma 3 and you think you need an orientation, your superiors haven't been doing their jobs. Next question?
I thought I said don't ask me questions about... Okay, fine. She just asked why everyone here is from Sigma 3. First answer, it's not everyone. More 2/3 of you. I see at least a dozen are high-ranking members of Town 9, the Bookworms. Some of you are Clearance 4 researchers who've been read into this program. At least 3 of you are new directors, and some of you are spooks. Not saying who, of course, just have fun wondering about that. Anyway, very, very few people in the Foundation are allowed to know anything about magic. This is by far the largest number of people I've ever spoken to about this. I guess what with everything that's been happening recently, the Overseers want more people knowing what's going on. Yes, okay, ask a question. His question was, what exactly is Sigma 3? In that case, I have a question too. How the hell does anyone in here not know what Sigma 3 is? You should have been sent material on... Right. Great. Still in the process of declassification. I see. I take it back, I suppose. Okay, we'll start with what we call the anomalous community. Give you the lay of the land. How the world works out there in the shadows. I'll explain how our group of interests fit into this. I'll tell you about the Wanderer's Library, and yeah, I'll explain a little bit about Sigma 3. In between we'll have breaks, so you don't have to hate me too much. I assume you already know this, but there may be about 100 of you in here tonight. Still, you are a fraction of the company's population. We're going to keep it that way. Anything you hear from me, anything, is not to be discussed with anyone who's not read into this program. On pain of death. Probably. Finally, I'm going to talk to you about magic. Don't panic. No, you're not hallucinating. There's been no breach, and I promise there are no drugs in your coffee. I'm quite simply talking to you in the color blue. This is because I want a mage. Or, if you like, type blue, or a witch. This is stuff we can do. It's magic. Trivial magic, but magic nonetheless. Give me just a moment, and we'll get started. Welcome back. I hope you had a great dinner. Or whatever you did. I'm not here to judge. So, magic. Anyone who can perform magic on a consistent, sustained basis is a type blue. Colloquially, a mage, a witch, a magician, whatever. The term type blue, the Foundation lifted from the Global Occult Coalition. The Coalition classifies humanoids with anomalous capability using colors. We at the Foundation mostly use their terms for green and blue. Green is reality bender, blue is magician. Before coming here, some of you read transcripts of a lecture given to new Global Occult Coalition operatives about applied thaumatology. Magic, in other words. The rest of you will have access to some of those transcripts after this session. Your higher-ups want you to read these because new GOC trainees still start off reading those, even though they're decades old and some of the information is... I would quibble with its presentation. The important thing is that you know half the baseline our competition has started from. I'm here to give you the viewpoint of the other half. You already know that I used to be a member of the Serpent's Hand. You, in the back, who raised your hand when I mentioned the Coalition transcripts? Okay, for anyone who didn't catch that question, she just asked about that Hogwarts shit. She wasn't joking, no. Hogwarts is the International Center for the Study of Unified Thaumatology. It's not exactly Hogwarts, more a university-focused exclusivity on research, but yes, it is on some level a school for wizards, depending on your definition of wizard. Why haven't we contained and shut them down? Well, remember what I told you about Sigma 3. But sure, we don't need to use Sigma 3 for that. The real answer is that the center is protected by the Global Occult Coalition, among other things. And I'm not exaggerating when I say attacking it could trigger World War III. Something I need to keep reminding people. We're here to secure, contain, protect. Not to blow everything into the daylight just to make sure we possess every paranatural artifact on Earth. Either way, it's not up to us. We're to leave the center alone by order of the O5 Council. But yes, It exists as part of the anomalous community. No, I don't think Foundation members can attend. The Hand and the GOC have a number of Type Blues in their ranks. With the Foundation, officially, we have no Type Blues. There are no Foundation magicians. Of course, you know that's not true. Still, we have only a few, and almost every Type Blue Foundation member is associated with Sigma 3. But all that aside, you want to know how I could do blue. Well, it's not especially easy. I did a few rituals before coming here, so I could do this a few times on cue. All with the permission of our higher-ups in the Foundation. Yes, there are people higher than me. Of course there are. Only a director. Point is, any and all magic that any performing will be done under supervision. Unless you are out in the field and need to blend in. All of it will be done in the service of the Foundation. One of you asked me when you were supposed to be having dinner. Z wanted to know why we talk about reality vendors when we come out Type Blues. Some of you have already guessed the answer. The truth that none of you want to repeat in company, certainly not to anyone else in the Foundation, is that anyone can become Type Blue. Anyone can magician. Anyone can learn magic. Many of you are going to have to learn. Most will not succeed, but it is possible for any of you to succeed. It gets a little wearing after a while. And a couple of you look ill. Sorry about that. Anyway, anyone can become a Type Blue, but there are some caveats. The first is sometimes called potential. At least it was called that when I was a member of the Hand. A few people get potential through their genetics, but 99.9% of the population is born with a potential of nothing. After that, whether you get potential is like whether you get cancer. There are about 1 million factors. Some of it's how you think, some of it's how you do and don't fit into society, some of it's your kind of intelligence, and sometimes there's just no identifiable cause. Generally, if you want to become a magician, a Type Blue, you first figure out what your potential is, what life's given you. If you're lucky, you'll find an established magic tradition that suits you. If you're very lucky, by which I mean you're a Type Blue already and didn't know it, you can just go ahead and start practicing. Otherwise, you have to take a good, long, hard look at yourself. Because becoming a magician is hard. It takes a lot out of you. Something different from every person. It usually requires some type of sacrifice. Question? Go ahead. No, I don't mean a blood sacrifice necessarily. Even in the anomalous community, that is very much not socially acceptable. When I say sacrifice, I mean physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's different for everyone. Why a sacrifice? Because it's about perspective. Not just your perspective, but the perspective of others. On you. The perspective of reality. It's about changing how the world sees you. How you see and interact with the universe. You're confused. That's understandable. Let me try to rephrase. Becoming a magician is all about discovering and altering your metaphysical place in the world. This can be temporary or permanent. Temporary is easiest. Most people can create a really minor working or spell. Serpent's Hand members often start with making blue lily flower chains. Then they follow a really complicated set of instructions that, with the right materials and mindset, as well as membership of the Serpent's Hand, produce temporary potential inside them, which they then use to work the flower chains to add magic to them, the anomalous effects. Those effects are different for everyone. It's impossible to try to make every Type Blue make a luck charm, because almost everyone who doesn't believe in luck will reliably fail it. Except, oddly, actual statisticians who know what it would take to create actual luck. Point is, it's not directly predictable what any one person can and can't do. Let's have some more demonstrations. At this point, you've all heard me talk in blue. Let's see what someone else can do. Agent Navarro? What do you mean no one told you in advance you'd need to put on a show? I'm telling you now. You up for it or not? Uh-huh, I thought so. Alright, everyone who doesn't know, this is Agent Daniel Navarro. Agent Navarro is a former anarchist, and like me, is a Type Blue. Whenever you're ready, Agent Navarro.
And that is a good summary of the Foundation's knowledge of the Serpent's hand. With this theory done and magic introduced, let's go to Sarah on the ground with her magical explorations.
Hello, folks. I'm Agent Sarah, but today you might know me as the Serpent Hunter. Crikey! Have you ever seen a serpent with hands? Well, I haven't either, but we're going to today.
Agent Sarah, you do know that the Serpent's hand is a GOI, right? And not actually a group of snakes with hands? Did you listen to the overview that we just aired?
I know, but it's more fun this way. We have to keep the folks entertained. Now watch out, these reptiles love anything anomalous. Anywhere they're around, SCPs are likely to slither out of their containment. No need to worry about old Agent Sarah here, though. Snakes and stones never broke my bones. So, how does one become a snake? Well, probably by shedding your old skin and breaking out into the world with a new, different perspective. And what better place to do that than... Drumroll, please. College! So today, we're going to my alma mater, Dear College.
Sarah, this logic makes absolutely no sense.
Shh. Okay, well, actually, I was listening to the magic orientation, and they mentioned that new Serpent's Hand members craft blue lily chains. I remember seeing those hanging in the office of one of my old professors, so I thought that might be a good place to start looking.
Well, that idea does have potential. Also, forgive me, you went to college? That wasn't listed on your intake records, not that I recall. What exactly did you study?
Magic.
I'm sorry, what was that?
So, my traditional major was meteorology, and, my occult major was evocation with a focus on weather.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, it was only for a few months, and... Oh, frick, will you look at the time? I'd better get going.
Good morning, dearies. Ichi homo platones. Capitalism, Christianity, monogamy.
Excuse me, that's not correct. It's Behold the Man of Plato.
Huh, oh well. Never could read Latin anyway. First and most importantly, to whoever stole the doilio lingo owl again, please return them immediately to the linguistics department. Professors are struggling to motivate students without them.
I wonder who did it.
In light of the recent increase in club applications, administration would like us to remind everyone that Dear will never have a Quidditch team. Any attempts to start such a team or play that game or any variations on Dear campus will be met with severe penalties, up to and including expulsion and permanent exclusion from campus. Congratulations to the Hand Egg team for their recent victory against Ixit.
More like Ixsuck.
The cafeteria will be dispensing heartbreak-flavored LaCroix due to an excess produced during recent love potions exam. We will also have chocolate mind milk for our new sponsors at Moo Sphere Inc. and bottomless cake.
It's the LaCruz.
That's all for now. I hope today feels like $1,000,000.
Or at least around 1,500 of you.
And even when Dear gets you down, remember that it could be worse.
You could be going to Ixut.
Ta-ta.
I'm definitely in the right place. Welcome to Dear College. Founded in 1948 in Southeast Three Portlands, Dear College is a co-educational liberal arts and sciences college. Renowned for its groundbreaking integration of occult studies into a liberal arts curriculum, Dear is known for its high standards of magical practice, creative thinking, and engaged multiversal citizenship. I was only here for 3 months, but I sure did learn a lot about myself. Didn't gain a thing from any of those so-called magic classes. I think I even still have my Dear College pen in my backpack here somewhere. Well, as much as I'd like to take you folks around my old stomping grounds, we have other priorities first, because today I'm here to give some serpents a hand. Oh, frick! I dropped my pen! Oops! Oh, look! There's a baseball cap lying on the floor here, too. Guess I'm not the only one around here with butterfingers. I wonder who this belongs to. Is there a name under the cap? That's some awfully etched writing. I can't read that at all. This school sure does boast students from all kinds of places. I'll just drop it off at the Lost and Found. I'm sure someone there will take care of it. I think it's on the way anyway. Okay, let's see if I can't remember where Dr. Chow's office is. Oh, there are a lot of people in this hallway.
OMG, did you hear that Corman asked the campus oracle about their grades the other day?
No way.
Yeah, and apparently it told them that they should try taking up Magic the Gathering instead of Magic the Major.
Oof.
Hi, excuse me. I'm trying to get through here. Could you please get out of the way?
So you will not believe what happened last night. My roommate's neck turned 180 degrees. This is normal. Her grandma on her mom's side is an owl. But then she started chanting a list of ingredients and vomiting peach-flavored LaCroix.
That's so wild. My roommate got a pet poltergeist, but she had to exercise it because it didn't have all of its shots.
Sorry, can I sneak by, please?
Hey, Max! Check out the new edition of the Odyssey! We found an ancient Indian burial ground underneath the cafeteria. Someone dug up all the bodies and replaced them with cans of LaCroix!
Why would there be a Native American burial under the caf? I thought that 3 Portlands was only like 200 years old.
Hey, sorry, excuse me.
Did I say Native American? No. I said Indian burial ground.
Actually, Indians from, India usually cremate their dead rather than burying them.
It's not that kind of Indian either.
Could you please get out of the way?
The curse is real. The other day, the sauce in my KFC Double Down was replaced by barbecue flavored LaCroix. It actually tastes better than any normal Double Down.
Hey, do you think that statistics is the dark souls of divination?
Holy frick! These students are so rude! I understand that I don't go here anymore, but they're acting like I don't even exist. I guess I'll have to go around the long way. Okay, I think the Lost and Found is just around the corner here. Oh no, is that?
Sarah, I just knew you'd be out here. Divination and all that.
Hello, Professor Van Latte.
What are you doing here, my favorite little magic school dropout?
Well, I'm...
Oh, don't even bother answering. I already know because...
Divination and all that.
Well, do come in. We must catch up.
I would love to, but this hat! I really have to get it back to the Lost and Found.
Oh, nonsense. A simple transfiguration spell to turn this into a bird, and it can fly itself right to the Lost and Found. All right. You don't have any potential.
That is what you told me.
I'll take care of this. Now come in. So, my dear, how have you been? Making out okay with all that XK nonsense going on out there?
Why do you even bother asking me questions? You already know everything.
Silliness, I don't know everything. I just divine most of what could be.
I don't understand the difference.
And that is exactly why you would have gotten a C in my class, potential or no potential. You just weren't willing to sacrifice anything, any of your time, to be a good student. Although I'm not sure if that is still the case.
Right.
Here, have some tea. And speaking of tea, do tell me about that man who lives in your head.
Robin?
No, I don't think that was it. What was his name now? Harry? Hollis? No. Howl!
Shh! How do you know about that?
You said it yourself, dearie. Apparently I know everything. Let's have some cake as well.
Wait, so do you know what's causing my migraines? And why I keep seeing Sam Howell everywhere? And why people keep disappearing?
Like I said, anything incredible, one could even say magical, requires a sacrifice. Just do be careful that you don't shed too much old skin on this transformative journey and risk losing anything important, or even yourself.
What does that even mean?
See, students. Let me try to rephrase. Transformation of this kind are all about discovering and altering your metaphysical place in the world. Consider that the divinities of fear and order who come to walk in the cool evening air are only visitors. Do not fail to see the evil hiding in the light, nor the aromatic beauty of the palest flower of darkness. Once something has been done, it is much harder for it to be undone. You have seen that with 2000. But no matter where you are in reality, or sometimes out of it, you can always find a way back.
You're just completely incapable of giving a straight answer, aren't you? Look, I'm just here to learn more about the Serpent's Hand. Could you at least give me some insight on that?
Sorry, my dear, but most of the value is in the journey. Not all those who wander are lost. But here at Deer, all those who are lost are wanderers. Oh, and you should say yes to things more often. Doors to opportunities will open up better that way. Please remember that. Now you'll have to excuse me. I have a class I need to get to. Would you mind stopping by the Lost and Found on your way out, just to make sure my little birdie arrived okay?
Sure.
Just as predicted.
Hello?
Hi there! Have you lost something?
Oh, it's you. Now you can see me, I guess?
Sorry. Oh, were you incorporeal and I missed saying hello to you? I'm still getting used to the hang of those multiplanar vision spells. Anyways, is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, listen, did a hat fly into here earlier? I'm just checking to make sure it made it here.
No, sorry. I haven't seen any hats recently.
Shoot, no, sorry. It was probably a bird at the time. Have you seen a bird?
Oh, yes. A cute little robin flew in here recently.
Great. So it's here and everything is fine. Then I can leave.
Well, it's not here anymore.
Oh, did the hat owner come pick it up?
No. Do you even go here? I don't think I've seen you around.
Yes. I'm specializing in divination with Professor Van Latte.
Isn't her class going on right now?
Yes, that's exactly why I'm here right now. She sent me to check on the bird. As a test for her class, it's a divination in the field kind of day today.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I was worried you might be a Foundation spy or something like that. But that can't be right. All those guys are gone. That's what CI promised us. Go ahead and get your bird from the library.
Right, yes, the Lost and Found Library for the Wanderers. I'll just go get the bird.
Wow, you're really good. You must be one of Van Leet's best students. Have fun and don't get too lost.
Hello, little Robin? Wow, this place is huge! How did they fit this in the school? Is this in the school? Never-ending cast iron shelves? That's so impractical, but so gorgeous. This colorful stained glass windows, and plush green carpets, and the books all look color-coded. This is like a dream. Oh, hello. There you are, little guy. You were supposed to stay in the Lost and Found, you silly bird. Did you find a nice book to sit on? And now you've knocked it over. What does this say? Dead weight, don't kill the vibe? That's an intense title. SCP-4736? Wait, is this an SCP log? What is this doing in this random library? I better take this with me. What do you think, little Robin? Hey, wait, don't fly away again. You're headed straight for the window. Stop, you're gonna hit it. Did the bird just fly straight through that stained glass window? Where did it go? Right into the pretty blue tile here. I wonder if I touched it. Whoa! My arm just went right through it. Not all who wander.
Sarah. Agent Sarah, report in. What's going on? It's been 20 minutes now. Still nothing. Shit, that's not good. First she falls ill, then she reveals that she studied magic apparently, then she goes to a still operational school despite the whole world ending, heaven knows why that's still there, and then she goes to the base of the goddamn hand itself, the Wanderer's Library, before just disappearing. Fuck this. I'm gonna need to go figure out what the hell's going on. Regardless, let's end this episode right. For those of you still listening, that was all the time that we have on the Serpent's Hand. I know this information came across as a little vague. First we presented the basic profile of the Serpent's Hand, but then suddenly we discussed a random disappearing cap, and then that magic exists, and then we talked about a magical school, and then we went to the library, the base of the hand itself as far as we're aware. What you need to know is that we actually know very little of the hand ourselves, and this weird set of events can all be attributed to them. They're a weird and slippery organization. They avoid detection, they actively look to recruit to their cause from the general populace, and they use SCPs in a way that we personally never could. They have brought the ideas of magic into the anomalous mainstream, treating everything like a weird second-rate fantasy novel, and they made our job a whole damn lot harder. But in being so large, they have slipped up. They left behind pieces of information that we were never meant to see. And with this information, we can now ask, did they destroy the world? If I'm being honest, it's getting ever harder to definitively answer this. The hand is known for causing a wide scale of breaches, and a single miscalculation could release a chain reaction that ends the world, even with the defenses that the Foundation has in place to avoid specifically that. And we know that they would blame the Foundation for that, for keeping these dangers to society locked away and close enough to even be minorly intact. The goal of the hand was never destruction nor death. Well, at least not death of non-Foundation and non-GOC personnel. It was to cause containment breaches, and large ones at that. Could that have ended the world? Well, yeah, but that doesn't make it intentional, and everything that we've seen feels almost too organized to be such an accident. But, for those of you listening, there is still one question remaining. What do you do if you encounter a hand member? They're not inherently dangerous, they won't seek to instantly kill you or harm you, but they are anomalous. The same advice still applies. Stay hidden, stay safe, and stay alive. That's all the time we have for the hand today. Next week, I think we're going to focus on a group that's a little bit better understood, who have worked with the Foundation rather than against it, and are still just as dangerous for those of you out there. Prometheus Labs. Tess, you've been our point person on these files. I'm going to get to work on collecting files on the labs, but how has your personal search been going?
I mean, I really do feel like I'm starting to figure some stuff out, to actually learn things. I just found the D-class files from my first year, and I'm really thinking mine is in it, so I could actually learn stuff.
Good. Keep me updated there. I'll be anxiously awaiting the results. And with that, this is Dr. Robin and the team signing off. Stay safe out there. And as we close, I would like to give a special thank you to those in real life who made this episode possible, including Kevin MacLeod, who did the music that you heard for this episode. You can listen to his music and more at incomptech.com, as well as our many voice actors who participated in this episode, including Esme, who was the narrator for the Magic Orientation, Emily, who was the Serpent's Hand representative and Professor Von Late, John, who was the school announcer and played an extra student, Peach, who played the role of Pansy, and Moss, who was one of the extra students. I'd also like to thank the various SCP authors whose work was involved in this episode, including Pair of Ducks, who wrote SCP-268, The Cap of Neglect, Prof. Snyder, who wrote The Tickle Monster, which is SCP-999, Sci-Bi, who wrote SCP-871, The Self-Replicating Cake, The Deadly Moose, who wrote The Serpent's Hand Hub, and Magic Orientation, A Random Day and Chewbacca, who wrote Overhead at Deer, and Chewbacca, who wrote Dear College, the Student Body Handbook. I'd also like to thank my two co-hosts, Taya, who plays the role of Sarah, and Kit, who plays the role of Tess.